Okay, I'm going to give everyone a little bit for people to get notifications and start coming in. Brett is driving, so there's that. So, in just a little bit, I want to show you something. I found out from some people that they're like, part of the reason they're as far as they are, they're like, we're walking all over the place. Well, I started to look and notice that the reason they're able to walk as much, they actually... And they're saying, we're just doing it from our home, and when we get a chance and whatever, and, well, their person, they get the point, they can sometimes get that 0.25 just sitting at their house.
Happened to me.
I know, but you've seen, my person doesn't move.
Yep, mine does.
And so that's, with me, part of it is, and my husband's seen it, it does not move. So I can, if I'm stopped somewhere, I can switch between games, everything else. No, it's gonna stay right there. It doesn't matter. So I wanted to point that out while I wait to see if anyone shows up. Community Day is not tomorrow, but next Sunday from 11 to 2. So, I'm going to have to work out with, and it is increased XP from wizarding challenges, especially from the sponsored fortresses. And reduced healing time on, or not healing time, reduced brewing time on healing potions. So, I'm going to have to talk to people around here and just say, here's when I'm going to be at the fortress. I'm going to drop a Barufio's right at 11. And as soon as it's done, I'm going to have to leave. Because our church starts at 12. So. That's going to be what I'm doing on Community Day. I hope others are able to take more advantage of it. But I'm not going to be able to. Well, I'm choosing not to.
Just going up to Fortress, getting my Fortress battle, and letting you get what you need, and I'm going to switch to Pokemon Go. That's all I need for
Okay, we'll see. Okay, you can do what you want. Sorry, I'm going back to what I was saying. So, I am choosing not to take more advantage of it. I could skip church. I could see about going to a different church, different things like that. But I don't think that's appropriate. So, it's at least it's not appropriate for me. So that's what I will be doing. Unless I'm sick, at which point obviously I probably won't be able to do it at all. So there's that. someone, or I heard that the dark detectors, they were confused. On what I was saying on the last stream. So, I think what's happening with this next event is they are making it such that it's worth it to drop a dark detector. Well, they've made that because the latest update, it will bring in higher level foundables, or more of them. Let's put it that way. So, with it bringing in more of those high level foundables, it's worth it to drop it one. On top of that, if you drop one and 2 other people each drop one, that brings in more than if you were to drop 3 in the same place yourself. So there's that. On this next event, you will have to use dark detectors. Now, you will get dark detectors to use. The one just previous to it, the task just previous, or in the same task set. So they upped the amount of high levels it'll drop. It'll bring in. So, by high levels, those are the ones that are rarer in general. So it will bring in more to use a dark detector than you would get otherwise. Yeah, you will need to use them for the Brilliant event. I believe the first set of tasks, you have something you can, if I remember right, you have one thing you can do to earn dark detectors, and then you have to use dark detectors, those dark detectors. Then later on, I believe it's again, but you get it as a reward for completing the previous set. I'm not positive, but they did work those a little bit better this time, to where if you need something. Oh, how is it different to have 3 people put in versus 1? It ups the amount of spawns and stuff, is what I've heard. Now, I haven't necessarily tested it, but from what I've heard, it actually increases the amount of spawns more than you just dropping it yourself. Basically, to encourage you to go in, or to drop with friends and to cooperate. And welcome, Jen.
Jen, I can hit ducks now, but I can't hit roosters.
So, 3 is 3, but it sounds like there's an extra multiplier added in there, kind of like when you go in a fortress. If you go in one fortress 3 times, you don't get as much, or, the total amount of XP you get is less than the total amount of XP if 3 people go into a fortress at once. I get that. That's why I'm glad you asked.
Force chamber 1.
Oh, really? You want to try that? I'm good for it.
Daring.
Let me see where my energy is. Yeah, I'm good. I can do that. You won't believe what he just decided to do, Jen.
I say, there you go.
Yeah, I'm debating. I was
Jen,
debating on what to drop.
Look what I just decided on doing. It's like, holy cow, what got into Brett?
Obviously, I'm taking the Elite Pixie.
Obviously, I'm taking the Imposing Death Eater.
Okay, there isn't an Elite Pixie. Brett, you're gonna do a forest chamber without me?
Yep. You can join us if you want, Jan.
Yeah, I heard you even though you were whispering. I wasn't sure if you heard him. So that's how I wanted to make sure. Meaning I just got home and need to cook.
Sorry, Jen, I still need to do that. Let us know when you want to go out on with this. We'll be glad to go in Forest Chamber with you. I'm being daring. I'm getting tired of those other chambers. They're too easy to beat, Jen.
I couldn't hear David in the back seat yesterday, but I usually hear Brett. I guess I will need to know. Maybe that's why I thought you can't hear Brett usually, is because I knew you couldn't hear. Otherwise, it's about time, Brett. Maybe tomorrow. So,
yeah, tomorrow after the X-rays, I'm good. We have a family party though at 5. So after 5, yeah.
We have a family party that usually
Probably
goes
about
for
6,
an hour
6:30.
to 2. So we can contact you somewhere around 6 to
6:30
7.
to 7.
Leave the kids there. They won't complain.
They may not want to even be with us. They may come with Stephen there because of the EX raid.
So, I don't know if you heard, not tomorrow, but next Sunday, we're gonna come here right about, try to be here right at 11, drop a Barufio's right then, and as soon as the Barufio's is done, we're gonna have to leave, but would this Erkling stop dodging? She said it sounds good. You might have to finish out things because I'm down to 13 spell energy. We'll see. Yeah, Community Day is from 11 to 2 next week. And church is from 12 to 2. Brett, this is the first Community Day they are doing with Wizards Unite that's not on a Saturday so far. People have been complaining because they work Saturday.
Thank you. You just boosted me.
Yes, I just boosted you.
I watched my green as he hit go by. I was shooting up past where he hit me. Like, wait a minute.
And then you went, oh yeah. Yeah, he wouldn't like having to finish, but I think we'll be good.
Only the pixie isn't there. Victory.
There was only a Acromantula.
I got Dumbledore's army, something, whatever.
And I don't know if you heard, but she said it's about time you got tired of the lower levels.
I get tired of the lower levels. I'm done. Ready to drive around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to replenish my spell energy before I... So just get spell energy. Once it's there, you can...
I'm sure they'll switch it up like they do in Pogo. That's what I'm thinking.
So do I.
He doesn't like it when they do it on a Sunday. It bothers him because he can't get out and do it. But
next year, yeah, but not this year.
Mm-hmm. But I try to remind him that it's not fair to insist that...
Next year, our church block starts at 9 o'clock, Jen. So they pull 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, we'll be done.
Well, it would finish at 11, so it would finish
we can get out right as soon as we get out. I mean, right as church ends, we can get out and go. That's what I'm saying.
Mm. Then, that'll be nice. It'll be nice. The bad part'll be that I don't know when my son and stepson's church will be, and daughter's church will be.
It hasn't changed. Whole time they've been going there, it hasn't changed.
Because theirs is 11 to 1. So that'll be interesting if it doesn't change, because we'll go get out right when they're supposed to be there. And so we won't be able to do anything as a family till after 1:30 or so, by the time they get home. But we'll go from there. My daughter is, right now, she's going every other week with them. But after her birthday this year, so before the end of the year, she's just switching over there and gonna go full time there. It's to the singles ward. So for Steph, if I know Jen probably understands a little bit more. For Steph, if she jumps on or listens to this later, or other people, they have wards that are more for singles. Well, not more for, they're specifically for singles. And they cover a few of our wards, and each ward is like a congregation in a regular church. So, but the difference being in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you don't choose what congregation you go to. You go to the one for your area. And so the singles wards encompass a bigger area than the regular wards, because obviously there's going to be fewer singles than married, at least in Utah. So there is that. And Steph might know that, but it's always helpful to kind of explain. And we now have a 2-hour block rather than a 3-hour block that it used to be not that long ago. And by block, it means a group of different things. So we have what we call sacrament meeting, which is where we partake of the sacrament and have some lessons. Gotta restart the game. Have some lessons about the gospel. People give talks or preach, whatever way you want to look at it. Except on Fast Sunday, when it's a time to bear testimony rather than preach. And then other than that, then when you're done with that, now you go to one class where you either learn about you missed it.
Missed what?
Tank of brains.
Turning around. You heard me, Jen. I want that tank of brains.
And there's a tank of brains across from the aquatic center, so if you're where you can enter it, would you post that on Discord? Okay. Gonna have to drop one of these two. There we are. And there we are. Anyway, so as I was saying, it used to be the 3-hour, you'd have a scripture, you'd have sacrament, thanks Jen, sacrament, and then a scripture class, and then a class for the females with the females, for the males with the males, and for the younger, for 12 to 18, they would meet with females if they were female, or males if they were male. And younger than that, it's just with their age group. To talk about different gospel subjects, learn about Christ and everything. So that's what the block means, is 2-hour block covers 2 classes, 3-hour block covers the sacrament in a class, 3-hour covers sacrament in 2 classes, is the way it used to be. So, Jen, do you have any other questions or anything? I am hoping... Okay, I'm glad we got them answered. I am hoping to try and get in touch with someone. So I found out... I have something like 14,000 views on my Wizards Unite Discord channel. And so, and I did a check, and no one else on Rumble is posting anything about Wizards Unite. In other words, I am the source for people to access information about the game on Wizards Unite. So you would think that Warner Brothers Niantic would want to get in touch with me. I am tempted to see if I can get a hold of Phases or someone and just say, listen, I know YouTube is considered a lot higher everything else, but there's this social media app that's growing, and no one's and I'm the only one on it. Can I get a little bit of a heads up to be ready to prepare a video or something for some of these things rather than finding out with everyone else? Now, I don't know if that'll happen. You want to go to this Pokemon Go is what you're doing.
I was switching.
But I figure it can't hurt to at least maybe contact and ask. But yeah, so Community Day is going to focus on wizarding challenges. Basically, fighting in the fortress. And will not have any bearing on the event that'll be going on at the same time. It doesn't sound like it'll make any difference to that. So
Having it dark at 6:17.
mm-hmm. Yeah, if we wanted to try and go out and do search for horned serpents, we'd have to go at like 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Oh, it's claiming it's still dusk, so maybe 5 o'clock would be okay. Which actually, if it's claiming it's still dusk, do I want to drop? No. I was debating on dropping a trace. Actually, I think I will. Because some people have said, oh, just make sure it's dusk. So you saw it's dusk. Vault. Use. And you watch. Now that I'll get the luck of people being able to see, I'll bring in some good stuff.
Doubt it.
I'll take that.
What?
Pick it.
He's here.
He's either here or he came into my potion.
I have nothing.
Yeah, you don't even have the greenhouse, so.
Greenhouse. There's Pickett.
So it didn't
There's
come
Pickett.
into my
Didn't
potion.
Come in. There's Pickett right there.
Wait, did I look at the right one? Let me double check. No. This one came into my potion.
Pickett's departed. I tried.
So one thing I'm wondering, Jen, does your person freeze like that? Like you're moving and it's still frozen behind? Because Brett's doesn't, and his person moves everywhere.
Yep. That's why they were all stopped. The goats there at the sports complex.
Okay, that doesn't explain it then. And yeah, I'm debating on contacting Phases. I think I will. And just say, hey, I have this following. Can I have just a little bit of a heads up even? Like a day that, or even just saying, hey, I'm going to announce something at this time tomorrow. Or announce something tomorrow. Be on the lookout.
I got my 10 gifts. You're a person in here.
They can't beat it on by themselves.
I was going to say, if someone else is in there, they're stupid.
Someone just pulled up behind.
No, I saw.
So I don't know if maybe another one's starting.
I'm not really wanting to do Cobra Lion, though. You've got a good one, I've got a good one. Jen, I'm probably say, but you can always get 100%, right, Jen?
So this one came into my trace. Yep, Brett.
What?
It takes a while for her to respond, and then so she's saying yep to what you said.
Oh yeah.
So for anyone that was after Snowdrop, and I think I said this in a previous one, I know in some areas it's not as common as it is here on the ground. They have returned it to greenhouses.
That's when it dropped and spot dropping everywhere. It slowed down. I can't find it everywhere like I used to.
I'm still not having any trouble, but that's okay.
Not what I wanted, you stupid. Oh no, well. Jan Caden's got a huge question. Have you beat one of the Team Rocket leaders? If so, how?
Oh, and that's the big event is Team Rocket. That one's the trace.
There's a guy I don't have.
I haven't tried yet.
Oh, I'm on the wrong game. Jen, you're going to laugh at that.
He's after
Pignite.
Pignite.
I don't have that one either. Pignite's being a pain in the arse. Two-star. I did have Pignite. It didn't register to my Pokedex, so Caden must have evolved.
But when you evolve, it still should register it.
I'm saying I had already registered to my decks, is what I said.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So Caden must have already evolved it from its cricket tot form. Well, not cricket tot, but it's Grumpig.
That one's to my trace. So it did switch tonight, but I can stop whenever, I guess.
What's here? What just showed up there?
I'm turning something on Facebook. So, my best friend, that he actually dated in high school. And when, after both of our divorces and whatever, she was the one, she said she should have got us together, is live on Facebook. So that's what I was jumping for. So I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background or not. Grumpig is Spoink's evolution.
Oh, that's right. I'm bad. I don't know.
You didn't want to watch that?
I can, but...
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can watch it later. So, anyway, it's a, yeah, we can go.
We're going to watch it later.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Grumpig is Spoink's evolution. I'm bad.
So, if you liked it, look up Music for Little Tots.
Music for Little Tots. Music for little monkeys, I thought.
For little monkeys. Let me look it up.
It's music for little monkeys.
Or Anna Walt on, I know she has some songs on like Amazon Music, or I think Amazon Music, the Apple iTunes or whatever, their music one, she has some songs on, things like that.
She's good.
We used to call her the Energizer Bunny because she
still is.
Yeah, she kind of still is. I'm just saying she would play She ran track and cross country, and actually the Mountain Crest shirts, so Jen may have seen this, but the Mountain Crest shirts around here for years, all their writing was in the back, not in the front. And that actually was a coordinated scare tactic, kind of, because it was a reminder of her for everyone. And what I mean by that,
she still holds the state record, I think, for Mountain Crest.
She holds Mountain Crest record. Last I knew, she held some of Mountain Crest records. Our freshman year, she broke the record and then broke her own record 7 times in the shortest distance. She would then proceed to go through and break record after record after record from Mountain Crest in track. When she competed in track, they actually, one year as our junior year, she took 1 second and like 3 or 4 first places. So what usually would be, hey, good job, you really worked hard. Well, they printed in parentheses next to the second place, oh horrors, because they never had a chance to print that she took second place. Cross country, she had to train with the boys because the girls were too slow for her. She actually, and this is the reason for the printing on the back of the shirt, she would come in and lap the football field, because you'd run 1 lap around the football field before you finished. She'd lap the football field, and then you could start seeing the other runners, the other females, off in the far distance, just starting to make an appearance. And she was that much faster than
I was dating her in high school. All my friends said, "How did you catch her? She's too fast." That's what they all said to me. "How did you catch her? She's too fast."
So that's why the printing was on the back of, if anyone who knows Mountain Crest shirts and has wondered why the heck would the front of the shirt be basic or even have nothing on, and then the back of the shirt has everything you want people to see. Well, that's why. Is because the idea originally was that with Anna's shirt, the only way they would see any of the messages was if it was printed on the back, other than before the race. Like during the race, the only way you would see the message is if it was printed on the back. And so they started printing them on the back for just track, for just cross country. And then it spread to also track. And then it went to basically everything as a reminder, because she was like so far ahead of everyone else. So she did that. But on top of that, she also was in orchestra, and she was in the local, and her family had their own band, and she was in Mountain Crest's choir, and she was It was just like, so she took private lessons. She also took in school, your regular orchestra and, lessons for orchestra. She had orchestra class in school. Plus she had, choir class. So she had private lessons and all this, and was doing that sports-wise. You can see why we called her the Energizer Bunny.
Hitting Walmart now, I think.
Okay. So, and unlike many people who are that good at something, that they're like sweeping things and everything else, she was very down to earth, nice to everyone, the works.
She doesn't have a mean bone in her body.
Yeah. I mean, if you had to choose one friend, well, honestly, yeah, she is someone who it's not hard to be friends with. That she's one that you can, those friends you can pick up with years later, not having talked to or anything else, and you're right, you pick up where you left off. That's the way it is with her, but that's the way it is with her for everyone. It's not just one person or a couple people, it's everyone.
There's not a mean bone in her body.
So, and she's still really talented. She was the only one with Daniel who really could keep ahead of him, if that makes sense. She was constantly able to teach him, because she, if needed, would switch to a different instrument.
And she didn't know how to play it.
She didn't know as much band stuff, but she could kind of slightly guide him. But she fiddles, so she plays the violin,
Fiddlin' Mama, that's another one.
Oh yeah, Fiddlin' Mama. She's actually the bluegrass group here in Cache Valley. She's part of that. But, so she plays the violin, obviously. But she also plays the viola, and she plays a few of the other orchestra instruments too. Plus the piano. So, yeah. And yes, I will brag about her. Maybe one of these days, we should get her on the stream. And or have her do some intro music. Create some intro music for this channel and for my other channel. Okay, so as you saw, didn't do any good to drop a trace. The trace didn't bring in anything. We did see a few other things, but every one I saw, Brett had access to also, so.
Nope, they're parked. And the reverse lights on. I was hoping they'd come out, but they parked. There's one right there for the wall. That's the car return.
So, anyone who's not here, this is our local Walmart. That's why we're here. We gotta go get some stuff. So, I'm gonna let you guys go. Let's check this one out since it's got a trace. Nope. 2 minutes on the left on my trace. I'm gonna let you guys go, and we will talk to you later.